All right, alongside us is the president of Resurrection Fighting Alliance and the guy who put all this together for us, Ed Soares. Ed, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. How are you guys?
I tell you what, it is great being a part of MMA Futures and seeing what you're doing for the amateur guys. Some of the guys that the other guys aren't given the platform that you're providing, and such a quality show for these guys. How big is it for you to be able to do so?
Yeah, it's great. You know, we're giving guys at all different levels as they're starting their careers as amateurs, and also guys that are pros that are starting to develop and need that experience of fighting underneath the lights, cameras, action before they step into the big show. Hopefully it breaks some of those first-time jitters.
When you first started putting this the Fighting Alliance together, the Resurrection together, did you have amateurs in mind, or is this something that kind of evolved as it started?
Every market we do it a little bit differently. I've noticed in the Midwest we do a lot more amateurs. Like in California, most of our cards are pro, the whole card. I think that there's a lot more amateur shows nowadays because a lot of the promoters are into the promotion game for a different reason. You know, we're all here to make money, but a lot of these promoters, especially the amateur promoters, I feel sometimes they really exploit the fighters because they're getting these fighters to fight without paying the money. And so I really try to focus. I think there's a real big void in beginner pro shows because those are the ones that you have to invest in the fighters, and the fighters have to go out there and earn an income outside of like amateur fighters that are going out there, and it's less expense for the promoter. But unfortunately for the fighter, they have a hard time building up their pro record. So and then when they get the opportunity to step into a big show, that's when they start having problems.
And you know what these guys are really going to do, and the part where you're beginning in their lives, is they're going to be able to step back and say, Ed Soares, I mean, really gave me a shot, really gave me an opportunity, gave me that platform, because it's obvious, and Champ, you can agree, you've been to how many shows around the world, that they're not holding back with funds around here as far as production costs.
Number one, I have to hold on because my boy Brandon Neujahr, they're going to introduce. 1 second. 1 second. See, I didn't want to make him mad. I call him Crusher. I watched him when I watched him walk in when I was there 2 months ago, and I met him. I was like, oh, okay, your name's Crusher. Crusher, everyone. His name is Crusher. So it was pretty cool to see him, right? You know. Did y'all ask me something too? Because I got to watching that and it just threw me off.
Did it?
Yeah.
We got to get you on that ADD deal. The fight's beginning right now. We're going to see some action. Once again, we're at 185-pound weight class. Sonny Yohn, Brandon Neujahr. They're tying up, looking for the underhook positioning. Body strike, nice knee to the body right there. Another nice body shot returned.
I think right now, I mean, he's doing a good job. Brandon's doing a good job of pushing against the fence, and then Sonny spins it around and now starting to lean against him. And right, you get into that clinch. Right now, this is kind of a chess game. It's that stalemate where you're stuck moving. You know what I mean? You don't want to do anything and give up the position right now, and especially when you're pushed against the fence.
Yeah.
That's an irritating spot for you. Sonny, is he going to – you don't know if he's going to drop down, pick the legs, and try and take you down with this, or is he needs to step back right now and start striking, or change it up and drop down and go ahead and, change where they're at instead of, just standing here locked up. But that's what happens when you start doing the over-under position. You get stuck in there. You don't know what you're going to do. You know what I mean? You don't want to give anything up, so you're trying to stay safe. Because when you're in close, it's the little short punches right there.
Oh, like
Brandon
that
just
one.
landed 2 good ones, and now
nice slam. And let's not forget, everybody out there, that these guys are amateurs, and this is what amateur is all about, to learn the things that Jens is talking about and kind of learn the form in front of a live crowd, in front of them nerves are different when you're in that cage. It's just a whole different environment.
Yeah, I mean, you want to learn how to listen. You want to learn how to think. You want to learn how to listen to yourself. You want to learn how to function out there. And, again, that's what amateur is about. And what Ed was talking about with amateurs, it's just not set up right now for amateurs. It's more promoter-based, and the kids get to fight maybe once, twice, 4 times, 5 times, you know what I mean, a year. But really, you see those boxers when they're coming out after having 200. You know what I mean? 200 punches. Take away some of these movements, some of these things. There's no difference between this and pro rules.
Nice
right
elbow
now.
right there. Nice elbow. Yeah, and Ed Soares, what a neat guy. I mean, he really is. I talk about a nice guy. I mean,
right there, he's got Brandon's back.
Joke. It looks
But
like
he's
it
doing
could
a
be
good
nap
job.
time.
He's peeling off. He's trying to get his shoulder down.
Oh, no, he broke it.
He's got to watch out. He did a good job. You reach up, you grab the hand, you want to peel it off. Sonny's doing a good job of transitioning. He's locking it up. What he needs to do right now is he needs to keep Brandon from putting Brandon needs to get flat, put his shoulders down, and avoid now that he needs to sit up and avoid the clinch. Sonny needs to kind of change it up. The fence is obviously causing problems. So what he needs to do back
maybe he's going
there,
for that body triangle right there too.
use the punches to go ahead and start setting it up to get him to stop. You know what I mean? Right now, his whole job is to protect that neck. He doesn't want you to lock around behind it, so you have to make him think about something else. I'm sure he's not going to, but start using those punches so that you can slide it in there like that.
And there he goes. Maybe got a little eager with that strike. He thought he landed a couple, and it looks like it's nap time.
He's reaching up.
And there it is. That's the tap. There's the win right there. Well, that's a great specimen for an amateur fighter right there to start out. Looks like Sonny took it over.
Yeah, I mean, he did a good job. Again, he transitioned back there, and he was not going to give up the back. When he got that back, he started getting it. Finally, it almost seemed like he got forced. When he got pushed up against the cage, he got forced into a good position, which was straight behind him. And then he was able to get his hands to do something else, have Brandon chasing after things, and then he was able to slide it in, lock it up, get the other hand back, because the first thing you want to do is reach up, pull that off. You want to get that space, to get your shoulder flat against the ground. Easier said than done, but it's still what you want to do. But having that fence right there allowed him to stay squared up and apply the choke a lot more, you know what I mean, a lot harder.
I mean, and going in these gyms, we go into the gyms all the time and see they're really using.
Redo.
What?
Fight's not over. That's the end of the round. We got short time here. Short time. Yes, I'm sitting here going, wait, did it end? No, okay, I didn't think he good.
That's one of those did you shake
I stand corrected. I was fired off over here, and someone else told me that it was over. I'm done.
You never listen to your partner. Come on.
Never listen to the anchor.
Yeah, take that from my girlfriend. Something.
Good kick.
Oh, nice punch. It's a nice stiff cross. He's got almost double hookups. It looks like he's swinging for the fences a little bit. He knows he lost that first round. He's going to have to pace himself, poise himself a little bit, get some points back. I'm seeing right now, as dominant as that first round was, he's got to win 10-8 here.
Well, even with that, is right now the thing is that he's doing a good job. He's punching. He's doing straight fluid movement. Sonny was able to come in there when he got the momentum. When Brandon stopped, he was able to punch right into a good transition. There was no punch, pause. Okay, now I'm going to go after you and allow him to correct and get his hips and get his feet and get his awareness. What he was able to do, punch, he fluidly went into the punch, boom, right into the takedown. And what he's doing that I love, especially as an amateur, something that he's learning and working on, he's doing a great job. He's going straight to the mount. He's not sitting in that guard. You know what I mean? Brandon needs to really start sitting back now and start pushing down on that thigh, and he needs to get his guard back. You need to at least get to a half guard, start locking it up so you can get your guard back and change this position.
Elbow.
Sonny's landing elbows, which, again,
that's a big elbow right there.
No, is this amateur?
This is amateur.
I'm
That
just
looked
being a
devastating.
smarty.
I'm telling you. If I didn't get paid to take that, I'm going to be a little disgruntled.
Well, that's the thing. Now you can see Sonny looks like he's going to try and set up the arm triangle a little bit. But right now, see, again, you're forcing it. This is one of those things. Brandon, okay, he knows it's coming. You have to start setting this up. You need to start making them think of something else, and then if that's what you're looking for. Again, it's like a combination. It's never the first punch always that's going to knock you out. Sometimes the overhand, but the setups getting to that position, those are things that are going to make it more final when you do finally lock that up. Now
key lock.
Going out to the key, and the one thing that Sonny needs to do is he needs to get that far elbow. He needs to pin that has a hold of the wrist and pin that down towards his neck. You need to tighten that up.
Yeah, he needs to tighten his finishing a little bit. His application looks good. If he could just tighten those little things, like you said, keep his hips down and along the side on that key lock, maybe he'd have it. He's going for a rear naked here again, trying to get it slid in. And at this point in time, you got to be wondering if maybe Brandon is wondering if he's in the wrong sport the way this fight has gone. Well,
you know what it is Sonny's doing a good job right now. He's almost forced it where Brandon knows the only way he's going to get up is, he's trying to, being a wrestler, he's trying to get back to his base. And the problem is, there's nothing really wrong with getting back to your base other than you have to keep in mind you're giving up your back. Mm-hmm. So going to your knees and then just sitting there and allowing them to recover, and now all of a sudden we're back to repeat. We're at the end of round one. where I have your back, and I'm going to get ready to take it again. We're up towards the fence. Brandon needs to fight these hands, but what I was saying was he needs to.
That's the end of the round. That's another short round.
Fast round, but he needs to, when you hit the all fours, you have to move quickly from there. Use that to get your platform, boom, and then move. Get off there. Don't let the guy recover. Again, the movement right now needs to be picked up, especially for Brandon. You can tell he looks a little choppy. He's looking a little sluggish. Sonny is putting some fluidity together. Punch, boom. Right there, you know what I mean? And he's going after that.
Going to the unofficial Gents Pulver scorecard. What do you got this scored so far in 2 rounds?
Well, I'm obviously a 10-8 in the first, and we'll go with a 10-9 in the second for Sonny. But, you know, the reality is that's the one thing that, again, with MMA Futures we were talking about. Not only do the amateurs need a place to practice, so do our damn judges. And quite a few referees need a place to practice. That's the other thing that we want to set up, and everybody needs to practice because they're so few and far between. They go from a couple fights to boop, big shade. You know what I mean? So like what Ed was saying is having that middle ground where they can develop. Everybody needs to develop. Your judges, your refs,
really nice.
And your fighters.
Beginning of the 3rd round, here we go. This is the 3rd and final round in the amateur bout. 3-minute rounds. And the underhook, he's going again. Getting pushed back. You heard it from Champ, and I got the card the same. I got a 10-8 round in the front. First round, 10-9 in the second.
See, right now, the same thing. What I'm not liking about Brandon, what he's doing, and, you know, I'm going to be heading back to Kearney, and I'll get a chance to train with these guys again here coming up, is if you're going to close the distance, you need to set it up with a punch. Set it up with some jabs. Don't just walk in, because then he walks in and then he freezes. He's not doing anything, and then Sonny's able to punch, push him back, and here we are again in round 3. Your back is against the cage again because you're not throwing any punches. Now when you do,
big combination right there.
Big punch right there that I'm going to call it. I'm not going to say luck,
Let's go for a triangle.
He needs to switch that off to the arm. Now he's let him set back. He's got to dig, push with his hip. He's got to get that leg across the back. The right leg
right there,
needs to shoot across. So he needs to sit back, control that arm a little bit, ride this out.
He let that slam get to him.
He was able to slam his way out. Now he's back again. Now you're here in the referee's position. You got to roll out. There you go. Try to set something up and move. Sonny's doing a good job. He was able to. He picked him up, power slammed him out of there, and instantly transitioned and got out of there. Don't let the guy recover and try to, you know what I mean, and try and lock it back on again.
Is there a possibility of him sitting up into a humplata here? No, he's going back over for the triangle. I'm telling you what, I'm seeing a little more ground skills than I've seen in the first 2 rounds here.
Well, you know, the biggest thing, too, is he's trying to land the damage. You know, I would say, again, if you want to strike, but it's not – I don't really understand or know where Brandon wants to be in this fight. Does he want to be standing up? Does he want to be on the ground? Does he want to be on top? I'm not 100% sure. Sonny, I know what he wants to do. He's wanting to get you to the floor, and now he's doing a good job at least of controlling. What I mean by with Brandon is I'd say, hey, if you're trying to hit somebody, it's time to put your feet in the hips, kick him away, and let's try to get back to our feet. But at the same token, he wasn't throwing any punches there either, so I don't know what it is that he's doing. I'm not sure if they're breaking the action, which is great if they are, because it should be 30 seconds and back to your feet.
There you go.
See, he closes the distance again, not throwing punches, but he's also not sprawling. He's not stopping anything.
Big knee there. Big knee right to the sternum, and that took some wind.
Sonny is doing a great job of this. Sonny will peel back, throw 2 punches. Once Brandon starts to go after him to throw the punches and he's raised his hands up, he changes levels and he shoots the takedown. That's a great transition. If that's something they need to watch, good job coaching for him. One thing that he has picked up that I like is when you do sit there, you have control. That guy's back is against the cage. Push, get back. He throws 2 punches. As soon as Brandon, who's got a delayed response, tries to throw, boop, I'm timing it. I'm going underneath it.
They're down
now
to
he
the
hears
last
short
10.
time, and he's going to start trying to rain it out, take the last 10 seconds, and go ahead and land all the punches.
Last 10 seconds of the fight right there. You heard the clicks. And that should be it. And we got definitely a victory for Sonny Yohn. I mean, you got to give it up for Brandon, though. I mean, having heart, staying in there, really dominated the whole fight, but he never gave up. I'm going to take this time to tell you about the season on the path. Brian B. Hugh Houston makes his UFC debut. We follow Brian through the success, setbacks, and trials. Check out The Path exclusively on P2CN.TV, your Path to Champion network. Yeah, once again, I want to remind everybody these are amateurs. But I tell you what, for being an amateur, Sonny looked pretty good. He looks like he's in great shape as well. Now's your chance to get on Twitter and tweet or quote me and the world champion, Jen's Little Evil Pulver. Tell me what you got to say out there, folks. I want to hear about it. I'm going to go ahead and check out Twitter right now while we're in between fights. Mike Kendall's up here shortly with our official announcement here in Lengend, Nebraska on Resurrection Fighting Alliance.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of MMA, we go to the judges' scorecards. In all 3, judges score the bout in favor of your winner by unanimous decision, Sonny Yohn.
You know, that's no surprise. I think the whole world could see that, but once again, I want to remind these are amateurs. They're out there performing, not getting paid, just trying to build their skills and start a career.